Hello, everybody on YouTube. This is Dante's Game Room coming here with a PlayStation 2 collection video. Um, start up here. Well, let's do an overview of everything real quick. There's some Sega Saturn games that we will not pay attention to. Some other junk in front of the stuff I'll clear out as we go. Some stuff on the floor I have to go through. But I have my stuff in alphabetical order, starting with the A's. Let me see, slowly go through here. I got, you'll see the variety of different junk that I collect. Um, Literally right next to each other would be the most drastic difference of games. Blood Rain's a really good game. Blood Rain 1 and 2, really good series. Breeders' Cup World Championship, it's a horse racing game. Of course, there's Britney's Dance Beat. Everybody's got to own that. You know, you gotta love the Britney. Burnout 3, Takedown. There's some trophy hunting thing. Um, Call of Duties, the first ones. Capcom Classics collection. That's a really good game. Any Capcom collection. Capcom Classic Connection collection. I'm not even going to attempt to say that again, but any of those Capcom compilation games, they're freaking awesome, man. I love playing them. They always have Street Fighter on them. There's a couple different versions. Matter of fact, I'll pull this one out, see what this one has on it. Oh, you know what? This one's got Street Fighter 2, Ghosts and Goblins, Legendary Wings, Bionic Commando, Forgotten Worlds, Ghouls and Ghosts, Section Z, 1942, Mercs, Commando, XX's, Gunsmoke, Sun, Final Fight, plus 8 more games. Now that's the arcade version of Final Fight. You know, like unlike the Super Nintendo game that had a lot of, character cut out and a level removed. That's the actual arcade port, and it's probably the best one you can get since the Sega CD. Celebrity Deathmatch, Cartoon Network Racing. So a lot of racing games. I do a lot of racing. I'm a big NASCAR fan. Of course, I live in the South, so NASCAR is a huge part of my life. Every Sunday, it's just like church. You sit down and you watch NASCAR, and then Redskins games on. You flip back and forth, and that's your Sunday afternoon for me. When I had TV, now I've cut the cable, and I suggest everybody else do that too. Just frees up your life to do things. Um, Disney Golf, Dirge of the Cerberus, the Final Fantasy sequel. It's the first sequel in the series. Of course, they came out with prequels later on with Advent Children for the PSP, which I was surprised Advent Children never got a PlayStation 2 release, unlike the Liberty City Stories and the Vice City Stories that eventually became PlayStation 2 games. Advent Children never did, to my knowledge, and I really wish it would have. It would have been really fun to play on the PlayStation 2. Um, the Dog Island. That's just a weird game. Where you're a dog and it's cutesy. You walk around town doing dog stuff, I guess. Of course, there's Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 3, Dragon Ball Z. What does that say? I guess Budokai 2, Cat in the Hat. Couple Dynasty Warriors, Echo the Dolphin, Enter the Matrix, Enthusia, some ESPN, different Family Feud, Fatal Fury, Final Fantasy, Finny the Fish, Fireblade, Fire Pro Wrestling Returns, which I'm glad that game came out in America to introduce people to the series again. You know, a lot of it, you know, is just imports only. I have a lot of Fire Pro Wrestling games, of course, but that was, you know, that helped it come out on the PlayStation 4, of course, and then it had, you know, New Japan characters in it. It was kind of like the first New Japan game to come out in America, really. Of course, I collect a lot of wrestling games and imports, but I'll get into that later. I actually specifically have a PlayStation 2 Japanese console just to play Japanese wrestling games. Yeah, I'm that kind of crazy. But, you know, I was a pro wrestler for a long time. My son's, you know, probably going to be one. He's trained since he was 13. So, but anyway, I digress. Fisherman's Bass Club, Flat Out 2, Ford, Bold Moves Racing, Mustang, more racing. Freaky Flyers, which is a really good hidden gem that a lot of people know about. Futurama, which is a crazy expensive game for like no reason at all, except that it has a completely hidden episode on it. That if you're a Futurama fan, to actually see every episode, you gotta own the freaking game and play it. So, the Getaway, Ghost Hunter, you know, God of War, you know, of course, start G's, and, you know, Grand Theft Auto, gotta have those, Gran Turismo. Now, I'm just gonna quickly go through the rest of this stuff because, you know, there's a lot of stuff, man. I'm not gonna make like a 30-minute video where this Guitar Hero gone. Hot Shots was a good one. Hypersonic, Extreme, it's a good, like, Wipeout, like, clone. Drag racing game is actually a lot harder than you would think. A drag racing game, you think you just press a button when it says go. No, man, thing's weird. To get the timing right and steering down, it's completely awkward. There's Incredibles, Jack Series, Jeeps, you know, Let's Ride, another horse game. Uh, Lord of the Rings, Madden, of course, Mark of Kai. Um, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a good game. If you like, you know, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, there's Manhunt, Maximo. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Max Payne can never get into it. Can never get into it at all. But you know, I have family members, that's their favorite game, and they can sit down there and play it and kill it. And I am like, the controls are just wonky to me. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. Mega Man 7, Mercenaries, Midnight Club, Midway Arcade Treasures. Let's see, NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Like I said, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. Oh man, the focus is going out on it. Like I said, I'm a huge NASCAR fan, so of course I got all the NASCAR games. Nano Breaker, Naruto. You know, of course, all these games aren't, you know, specifically for, you know, me. Nobody could have these games specifically for them. A lot of these are my son's games. We just put all the collection together, you know, or gotten when he was younger. We love Katamari, Way of the Samurai, Warriors of Might and Magic, Beautiful Joe, bunch of NBA games. Bunch of college games, Need for Speed, Neo Contra, WWE games. Here's some Japanese import games, like I said I was talking about. Highly recommend it. If you're into wrestling games, this is actually Victorious Boxers. I'm a huge boxing fan too. Any kind of combat sport, you know. Physical chess is the ultimate, you know, sport for me. Love it, always have. But Ready to Rumble, Ratatouille, you know, Ratchet and Clank, good PlayStation series, Resident Evil Outbreak, File 2, Pirates, Sid Meier's. I like Sid Meier's a lot. Of course, down there it's going to be kind of hard to see the bottom shelf the way I have it, but you can see some of the highlights of Rocky and, you know. Star Wars, and like I said, here on the floor, those are just games I have to go through. They don't have covers. You know, it's all alphabetical order, and got to get another shelf because I'm running out of space. But anyway, that's the PlayStation 2 collection for now. I'll be back with another video. See you later, guys.